Are you looking for credit tips to help you buy a home? I'm Jason Skinrood, Mortgage Loan Officer, and in this video I'll share with you my top 4 credit tips to help you get qualified to buy a home. Now before we begin, you need to get access to your credit history, and you can get access to your credit history from all 3 credit bureaus each year for free through www.annualcreditreport.com. Once you have a copy of that history report, you'll be able to utilize these tips most effectively. So let's go ahead and begin with my first tip. My first tip is that you always want to make sure you pay your bills on time. Now, paying your bills on time is the single largest factor that affects your credit score at 35%. So if you're currently behind on payments or you have had recent late payments, you want to make sure that you get those payments caught up and that going forward you make all of your payments on time. My next tip is that you want to pay down your revolving debt. So your revolving debt is your credit cards, and what the credit bureaus are looking at are what's called your utilization rate. And your utilization rate is the amount of credit that you've charged relative to the amount of credit that you actually have available. And so if you have high credit card balances, you want to get working on paying those down as soon as possible, and you want to be at a 49% or less utilization rate. If you're working on paying your credit cards off, keep going. However, one tip that I would add and that I give to all of my clients with regards to credit cards is to never pay off your credit card completely. And the reason being is because consumer studies have shown that those who carry a small balance on their credit cards actually have about a 70-point average higher credit score than those that carry a zero balance. So I always recommend to my clients, just make sure that you have about a $10 balance on your credit cards. My next tip is to pay off charge-off accounts. So charge-off accounts are old credit accounts where you've made multiple late payments or just stopped making payments altogether on, and the creditor has decided to go ahead and just write that balance off that you owe. And so if you have charge-off accounts, reach out to that creditor and get those accounts paid, because generally you can see a pretty significant increase in your credit score as a result. I'm working with a client right now that's doing exactly that, and with one bureau, by paying off a charge-off account, he's going to see his credit score increase about 44 points. My final tip is to review your credit history for inaccurate information. And so you're looking for inaccurate information with regards to late payments. If you find that there are any sort of inaccurate late payments showing from creditors, you want to dispute those through the proper channels. If you have public records, so things like tax liens, judgments, bankruptcies, you want to make sure that those are reflecting the current status, because municipalities are extremely slow at making sure that those are updated with the credit bureaus. And then the last part of reviewing for inaccurate information has to do with inquiries. So most inquiries on people's credit reports are authorized as they go out and search for new credit accounts. However, occasionally I do see clients who have had inquiries on their credit without their permission. And so you want to go ahead and dispute those, because sometimes you can see a positive impact by having that inquiry removed. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you have any additional tips, be sure to drop them in the comments below. And if you need help reviewing your credit history to help you get credit qualified, be sure to reach out. My contact information is below also. And as always, thank you for watching.